You know, guys, one of the most annoying things about this whole takeover of Hollywood by the SJW types, Hollywood and showbiz, is the insistence that everything reflect real life and everything be as accurate as possible. I swear, these people have completely forgotten what the actual definition of acting is. Okay, so when you're acting, my understanding has always been that you're pretending to be something or someone that you're not. That doesn't just mean the type of person that you are or who you are, but it also means what you are. For example, do you have to be dying to play a death scene? You know what I mean? I think not. But in these people's push to be as accurate as possible on the screen, one day that might actually become a thing. Yeah, you have to be damn near dying to play a death scene to get the most out of it. To the point where, like I said before, what's the point in acting if you're just going to be who you are and what you are? So there has been a pushback, I'm very pleased to say, to this concept where you have this happening. And I talked about this probably like a couple of years ago, how I really don't believe in this. Like, they go so far, by the way, they go so far as to say this bleeds over into voiceover work. You know what I mean? So if you're not a rabbit, then you can't voice Bugs Bunny. I mean, that's basically where we're going, guys. You got to understand that. But like I said, there has been a pushback. And in this particular story, you've seen the thumbnail. We're talking about Ian McKellen. Okay, so let's get into this, guys. I am the gospel according to Mark with a C. He is I, and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind. Thank you for joining me once again, my friends, and welcome to all of the new subs. I really do appreciate you guys. I love you guys so much when you discover me and you come through and you drop that sub. I really do. I appreciate it more than I could possibly say. So thank you, guys. But we're going to get into this story, right? And I saw this on Yahoo.com, and it says here, Ian McKellen, and of course you guys know him as Magneto, you know him as Gandalf, you know, he's an accomplished actor, okay? He acts. Okay, so Ian McKellen doesn't think gay roles should be reserved for gay actors, and he is quoted as saying, "We're pretending." Now, guys, you might remember a couple of years ago, I reported the same thing from George Takei, of course, of Sulu fame, because when they rebooted Star Trek, they decided that they were going to make Sulu gay. Now, George Takei, who played Sulu in the original series, said that he objected to that because although George Takei is gay, he did not believe, and he would know, being that he played him, that Sulu was gay. So he objected to that because he understands the concept of acting, okay? He was a gay man who was acting as a straight man, and nobody cared about that. We all love the character of Sulu. George Takei, oh my. So anyway, the story goes on to say, Sir Ian McKellen refuses to be put in a box, and he doesn't want anyone else put in one either. The X-Men and Lord of the Rings actor recently addressed the controversy surrounding the casting of Dame Helen Mirren as Golda Meir, Israel's prime minister, in a lengthy interview with BBC Two. And he says, there are two things. Is the argument that a Gentile cannot play a Jew? And is the argument, therefore, that a Jew cannot play a Gentile? McKellen replied when asked about the backlash over the fact that Mirren is not Jewish. He then took his answer one step further, touching on his own feelings as a gay man in Hollywood. Is the argument that a straight man cannot play a gay part? And if so, does that mean I can't play straight parts and I'm not allowed to explore the fascinating subject of heterosexuality in Macbeth? McKellen asked incredulously. Surely not. We're acting. We're pretending. The subject of straight actors playing LGBTQ characters and vice versa has long been a debate in Hollywood, with many performers recently weighing in on the matter. Now, of course, you had Neil Patrick Harris, who played a womanizer in How I Met Your Mother, I believe it was, and he was weighing in on it as well, saying he was nothing like the character that he played on that show, but of course, he enjoyed the benefits of being able to play that character, the opportunity of being able to play that character. And to me, there's nothing wrong with that. I feel like you marginalize yourself when you consider the fact that, let's say, a black character, right? Only black characters can play, or only black actors can play certain characters. Okay, let's put it like that. Because obviously when you talk about black people, if it is in fact a historically black role, it's kind of hard. You know, like Black Panther. You know, I've heard people make the joke, well, let's get a white guy to play Black Panther as long as we're race swapping. But you know, the funny thing about it is that Chadwick Boseman, who everybody loves as Black Panther, can't get me enough Chadwick Boseman. Nobody else should touch the role. Okay, everyone loves Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther. However, when you really think about it, Chadwick Boseman is not African, or he was not African. He certainly was not Wakanda. As a matter of fact, Wakanda is not even a real place. Okay, so how far do we go with this pretending, right? What's another iconic character? Tony Montana. Okay, Al Pacino, obviously not. What was he? Colombian. All right. Was he Cuban? I'm not sure. I can't remember that, but obviously, Al Pacino was neither one. He wasn't Colombian. He wasn't Cuban. He was not. Okay, Tony Montana. All right, playing an iconic role. Another iconic role, Mickey Mouse. A lot of people don't realize this, but Mickey Mouse was not in fact a mouse. He was a rat. Yeah, he was a rat. Ask some of the Disney employees. Disney, don't come after me. It's a joke. But anyway, you get the point. It's acting, okay? So, and with the voice acting piece, like I was saying before, you will marginalize yourself because if you're a black actor and you're only going to be allowed to play black roles, well, there's a very small percentage of those, as well as when you look at proportionately the amount of black people to white people that there are in America. So the opportunities, I would imagine, would reflect that, okay? So I don't understand why we let these people like do this to us when we've been growing. And I've always said this, these people want to take us back is what they want to do. It's like the opportunities should become more as we value people's talent and people's content of character over their actual skin color. But what we're not understanding is these people want to take us right back to those days when we were segregated, we were separated, and we had the opportunities based solely on what we look like. So I applaud Ian McKellen. I applaud George Takei. I applaud everyone else out there who have sense enough to understand that it goes deeper than the surface. All right. And acting is just that. It's acting. It's pretending. And you should be able to do that as someone who is classically trained as an actor. Because when you really think about it, like I said before, all of the roles that you're playing, you're actually not that. Every single person who's playing a role, unless they're playing themselves, kind of like The Rock in every movie that he's in, you're pretending. You're pretending to be something else. You know what I'm saying? If you're playing Captain Kirk, you're not a captain in real life. You know? I mean, it's just that simple, guys. So I agree with what he's saying, and I'm just curious to know, how do you guys feel about this? Do you agree with what Ian McKellen is saying and what George Takei was saying, what I'm saying, that it is acting and people should be allowed to take these roles? Of course, if you're dealing with source material where a character is written a certain way, like I said before, if you're dealing with someone who is African American, that racial thing is kind of hard to get around. But you know what's also interesting about this, guys? And I want to drop this last nugget. It's very interesting to me that in real life, in everyday life, these same SJWs push for the concept that you can be whatever you identify yourself as, right? So they'll tell a man that if you're identifying as a woman, well, he should be allowed to be that. He's stunning. He's brave, you know? And if it's a woman and she identifies as a man, or a girl is identifying as a boy, they applaud that shit. That's the way it should be. They love it in real life. But for some reason, when you're actually making believe and you're acting, then they'll tell you you can't be what you're identifying as. And what is identification when you're acting, if not just acting? I'm identifying as Captain Kirk. I'm identifying as Bugs Bunny, so I'm going to voice that character. I'm identifying as whoever it is that you're playing. But for some reason, those same SJWs will call foul. No, you can't do that. We have to get somebody who actually is that. So using that logic, if in real life, if you were born a man, then you should be a man. If you were born a woman, then you should be that woman. And only a woman can be a woman, and only a man can be a man. Huh? Gotcha! Doesn't work, does it, the other way? But for some reason, make-believe is a little bit different. Go figure, guys. But anyway, get in the comment section and you let me know how you feel about Sir Ian McKellen's thoughts and his words, and how he feels about this and this whole topic. All right, let me know how you feel about this. Are there rules to this? Can only certain people do certain roles, and that includes voiceover work? Let me know. As always, you can like, you can share, you can subscribe. Check me out on Twitter and Rumble and Odyssey. I'm out there, guys. Thank you once again for being with me. Thank you for listening, and I will catch you on the next one. This is The Gospel According to Mark with a C. Rock on.